Hello there and welcome to Mark Hart Hypnotherapy. Tonight we have the lovely Lisa, who is a previous client of mine. Now, Lisa's got a story and a half to tell us about how things started off, how our relationship blossomed through hypnotherapy. Well, I say blossomed. What I mean is the relationship between client and hypnotherapist blossomed. Yeah, Lisa, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. I suppose I'd just like to start off by saying, and I think too many things when you meet people, people sort of say, oh, yeah, he was really good, but don't really give the credit really to the right person. And I just like to say how amazing Mark is. And no, Mark hasn't paid me to say this. I'm laughing. Um, I was felt in quite a bad place not so long ago. My last session with Mark was last Wednesday. Um, every session was different. Every session was amazing, really, and I felt very different. Even I think my son lived at home for 29 years, recently moved out. He sort of knew the situation. I said that I was, seeing Mark, and even he said on my first, I think I met him for lunch the day after my first session with Mark. And he said, I can't believe a difference in you, mum. You just are seem to be back to your normal self. And I think I felt I was in a dark place. I think I described it to Mark as I was in a dark hole that I can't get out of. And he said, no, we can sort this out. And Mark absolutely did. And I feel literally like a different person. And I couldn't recommend Mark enough. And I really mean that. I really mean that.
That's absolutely lovely. Thank you. So, can you just go into a little more detail as to what was going on with you prior to you actually reaching out and gaining help?
I think I'd from a panic attack a few years ago. I think that definitely left me with very bad anxiety. I didn't really want to be on tablets. My doctor suggested tablets, didn't make me feel great. And just by chance, I was on the train. I came across some testimonials Mark had done with clients, was very interested, looked and read a lot, went on Mark's website and thought, I think I'm gonna, well, I didn't think I dropped Mark an email. I think when I, got signal off the train when I was walking to work, and I just sort of booked an appointment and to see if Mark could help me, and um, and here we are now.
Here we are now. And do you want to describe what it felt like going into hypnosis? Bearing in mind, most people don't think they've ever been in hypnosis, but it's actually something that you do most days. You actually go into that zoned out kind of area, and essentially that is a form of hypnosis. What was hypnosis like for you?
Amazing. I felt relaxed. I could just hear Mark's voice. If he instructed you to do anything, that's what I could hear, and that's what I did. Um, and from going from the start of the session to the end of the session, when I woke up, I actually felt really refreshed, as if I'd just come back from holiday. It was a really, just the first time was a really, I didn't think it was going to feel like that because I'd never done anything like this before. And I was excited to sort of like the next session and to see, from the first session how different I felt.
Mm.
I actually sort of felt like I could have put my pajamas on when Mark had gone and sort of got to bed and sleep. I felt that relaxed. And from someone, even I think, even at the age I am now, I do find it hard to relax. I'm always on the go. And I think, this has learnt to teach me, look, if you don't want to do it now, Lisa, there's always tomorrow. And
Mm.
I know say that don't cram everything in, you're back at work. And I think it's given me headspace to think, what I was doing was the wrong way and what I do now is the right way. And it's given me a different perspective on things, which is amazing, really.
Yeah. If I do that, what does that mean to you? Tell everybody about that.
Um, it's just I can't stop laughing really because I know a few exercises we did before I started my session, and I was thinking, oh, and it's just poignant, and it does, when you do that sort of thing, and I just think when you sort of go under and I can hear your voice and you say. I know it might just, my whole body just feels heavy. And it is really, it's the most amazing and bizarre feeling, um, but a good feeling. And I think yeah, yeah. And I think, look, the proof is in the pudding. I know, I felt in a really dark place, and I felt seriously, I was probably going to change jobs. I wasn't happy at work. And I think that can, how you feel, it just covers, the rest of the things. Whereas, although there's a few things going on at work that has been sorted out now, I really enjoy my job, and it wasn't a reason to leave. And I think
Absolutely.
a different perspective, without a doubt, it certainly has me, and opened my eyes to a lot of things. And yeah, I can only thank you endlessly for that, Mark.
Oh, yeah, you did the work, sweetie. Remember, mindset's you that's going to work. This particular thing here that Lisa's referring to was th- whilst we do inductions to put you into hypnosis, there's other smaller inductions that you can do, which are equally, if not sometimes more powerful. And one of the things I did was to cause Lisa's hand to become a conduit for a resource. So something that she really wanted to be good at, already had the ability to do, but really wanted to become a lot better at. Then what we could do was use her hand, cause it to lock so she couldn't open it, and get the resource to go from there to the hand, and the hand opened only as fast as that resource was installing. And the funny thing is that inability to open your hand initially because it's locked. Do you remember that?
And can I just say, Mark says it a lot, it described that a lot better than I would have done.
But yeah, it is rather strange. But there's so many things that the wonderful thing is your unconscious mind has no concept of reality and fantasy, which is why you could be told, here's an onion, bite into it, and it's going to taste like an apple. And your mind goes, okay. But obviously, we don't do that because we're not fooling around with you. We're making you better. So all is tickety boo with you now. You feel very well in yourself. Um, Anything else that you want to add at all? I mean, I think you've covered it all, really, haven't you?
So, I've said to Mark in my last session, I know the door's always open, and some of the tutorials that I listen to, people can go back for a refresher, and I absolutely would do that.
Mm.
Uh, Mark is a very busy man, but I just think it's nice that, you've gone through the process, and I know if there's anything that I need to brush up on, or I may feel a certain way, you have definitely given me the tools, and the way thought and how I process things
Mm.
are to the Lisa that was back then. And that's amazing. You don't know until you go through it
Mm.
how you feel and what you're going to be doing. But it's really transformed my life, and I'll be forever grateful to you that, because I was definitely in a very dark place, Mark.
Mm.
And from how I felt then to how I feel now. And I know you don't take enough credit, and you say I've done the work, but I think you've given me the tools, because I would have just been in the same situation, as I was before I contacted you. So, you
Mm.
know, some people don't want to take the leap of faith, and you've got to believe in what you're doing, and
Yeah,
think, and you can get through this, and you can come out the other side better,
yeah,
which I feel.
absolutely. Absolutely. I could not have put that better myself. That's wonderful. Thank you so much for doing that. Um, Ladies and gents, I present Lisa, Lisa who changed her life by taking that leap of faith, believing that there is an answer out there. And there are many different answers which you could go through. Even you could go via NLP, CBT. And Lisa found it just more interesting to go through hypnotherapy. And I'm so grateful for her to actually doing that. Well done, Lisa. Thank you so much for that. So, ladies and gents, it just remains for me to say that if you want that help, reach out. You can find me on Google, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. My website is www.markcardshypnotherapy.com. And even if you don't use me, the very fact that you reach out to somebody and find that help is half the battle won. Once you've made that first call, that's half the battle won. So I wish you all the very best of luck. And this is Mark Carter of Mark Carter Hypnotherapy, wishing you the very best mental, emotional, and physical health. Good night.